Now, you've probably seen or heard of the words cozy gaming before.
Welcome everybody to Trash Goblin, an upcoming cozy shopkeeping game.
New upcoming cozy games.
Cozy games coming out this year.
The cozy edition.
Cozy gaming.
Cozy games are
Cozy games.
Cozy games. Nothing quite like snuggling up with your favorite blanket and a warm cup of pumpkin spice latte to put up a cult manager. Wait, is that right? Cozy isn't a game genre. Wikipedia doesn't even list it on the official game genres wiki page. It does, however, list idle games, which I absolutely consider to be in the same box as cozy. Idle games don't have to be about anything in particular so long as they're idle. In the same way, the label cozy doesn't restrict the content of the game, as long as it's cozy. But just what does this term even mean? Well, since it's not defined anywhere, and you won't even find it on gaming platforms like Steam or the Nintendo Switch shop, we'll just have to rely on our cozy queen Iona to define it for us.
What is a cozy game? To me, cozy games are all about the vibes. Be it repetitive, be it slow and casual, if you feel comforted by it, it's a cozy game.
As long as it gives you comfort, huh? So while I love that Iona gave us free reign to decide what cozy games are, I say it's high time we explore cozy games' roots and come up with a definitive definition ourselves. Let's start by understanding when this cozy phenomenon first started happening. If you look at the usage of the word cozy game over time, the term is absolutely dead until 2015. This is otherwise known as the year in which Journey and Undertale came out. And also Grand Theft Auto 5, baby. It was time for looting and shooting, heisting and robbing. Solid Snake returned in Metal Gear 5 for some slow, chill sections, open world shenanigans, and big boobs. Geralt of Rivia hypnotizes all with went old ladies that needed their hot pants fetched and big boobies. That's a common trend. Bloodborne, I've never played this game because I'm actually terrified of Souls-likes. But I think you get my point by now, right? 2015 was a banging year for AAA games. I didn't even mention Fallout 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, or how League of Legends was actually kicking everyone's butt. Can I say yes? I don't know. But despite there being so many big titles out, I don't think Journey and Undertale slipped under anybody's radar. Even if you didn't play these games, you could not escape the discourse people were having around them. So what happened? Did the term cozy games blow up after that? No, actually, but it's definitely not dead anymore. It's starting to get a pulse. In fact...
Hey.
Yeah?
What's this bag ahead? What happened there?
Alright, I'll get right into it. If 2015's Undertale and Journey aren't what triggered the cozy game frenzy, then what is it? It's actually 2020. Wait, what came out in 2020? Oh, it's you! Animal Crossing New Horizons doesn't need an introduction. Its art style is instantly recognizable, its gameplay critically acclaimed, and what it actually achieved for us as an idle planet locked up behind doors due to a world health emergency is impossible to replicate. When we had lost touch with our friends and families due to the pandemic, Animal Crossing offered a world where we could be mundane with each other as cute island animals. Let me be clear. this wasn't intentional. The World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic in the same month Animal Crossing New Horizons came out. Animal Crossing had to be in development for quite some time before it was released, but the earliest mention we have of it from Nintendo is 2018. A lot of people either lost their jobs or were put on freeze when the pandemic hit. Most of us couldn't leave the house unless it was to walk our pets. What was happening was awful, there's no denying that, but we had a truckload of free time to spare. In a reality as dim as the one we were living, turning to our handheld consoles to decorate an island was the best form of escapism life could offer. Was Animal Crossing the first ever cozy game then? No. There have been games like this before, in which the primary focus is farming. Take Stardew Valley, a one-man made game that came out in 2016 and took everyone by storm. Even the OG Animal Crossing had come out 10 years before Stardew Valley, so it's not like New Horizons was trying its hand in the farming sim genre for the first time. The beloved Harvest Moon franchise had its start back in 1996, which basically predates my existence. Farming sim games have existed for a while, and this idea of quieter games had existed for a while too, but it had never reached the levels of mainstream success Animal Crossing New Horizons had, at least at that time. And it's after Animal Crossing New Horizons that cozy games skyrocket. Games that didn't possess this label before suddenly start being cozy. This wasn't just farming sims either. Platformers, visual novels, walking simulators, cafe simulators, games about ranching slimes. It had all been there before, all spread out in different categories and belonged to different gaming communities. But now it was all wrapped up under a pretty bow. Cozy. The Cozy Gamer subreddit came to life in 2021. In 2022, 3 games started their early access journey to become full-fledged cozy games. We have Coral Island, a game in which you leave Pokio behind to venture into Starlit Town, meet a bunch of hotties, and focus on your farm. We also have My Time at Sandrock, a game in which you are a newcomer to Sandrock. You meet a bunch of hotties and focus on your workshop, okay. And then Disney Dreamlight Valley, a game about basically the same thing, but with Disney characters. These games populated the 2022 scene until they finally came out in 2023. Right after a bunch of Story of Season games, which are basically the new Harvest Moons, and they also had a couple of farming sims in between, like Fae Farm, Roots of Pacha, and Paleo Pines. Was too many farming sims, man. I think this is what happened to rhythm games back in the 2010s, right? Red Octane, the company behind Guitar Hero, devised a formula, saw that it worked, and replicated it so many times.
Again! Again! Again!
Until we just didn't want to have anything to do with it anymore. Have played so many farming sims, I've begun to hate the sight of a watering can. We have tried so many gameplay mechanics and combinations that it's even hard to try and feel any kind of excitement for the ones that are to come in 2024. Now, don't get me wrong, each game I mentioned above is fantastic. I've played them all and loved them to bits, but by the end of 2023, I think we were all done with farming altogether. So we turned to cozy games that aren't actually about farming. And that's where the line gets a bit blurry. If cozy games aren't just about farming, and can actually be about anything, like literally anything, from arranging a Jewish girl's belongings as she moves to strategical turn-based RPGs, then what is cozy even about? Is it cozy because you were comforted by it? What if you're really weird and you're actually comforted by discomfort? Does that make this...
Where am I? What the hell?
Rise and shine, sleepyhead. It's time for supper.
a cozy game? Does the entire game need to be comforting? Or does just a moment of comfort justify the cozy label? Because you may feel comfort when you're in a dimly lit camp, dirty talking to a sexy vampire, but, and again, I don't know you personally, I don't feel comforted by a giant Spider-Man whispering nonsense on the dark woods, or a guy who's torturing a man with a bunch of creepy nurses. And most definitely, I'm not comforted by a giant brain who's trying to kill me. Would you feel comforted by playing a game about entering the deepest pits of hell to fight the worst demons in exchange for your freedom? A game in which you'd have to indoctrinate, brainwash, sacrifice the souls of your people for your own benefit. Is that cozy? Probably not. But what if it had cute visuals though? So I think this puts us back to square one. Cozy isn't farming. Cozy isn't pixel art and pastel colors. Cozy isn't even about a game having an innocent or desirable premise. I actually don't have the answer.
NANI?!
I actually don't have the answer, okay? Though the games have always been there, the term cozy games is relatively new. I know in this era of fast everything, 2020 seems like ages ago. But in terms of game development, it's actually not that much. I think we're watching the term evolve and define itself in real time. Take idle games, for instance. The genre now is pretty cemented. You know what an idle game is. Chances are you get ads for them all the time. This term has been around since 2007 with online flash games on platforms like Congregate. The first idle game came out in 2002. These games continued to grow rapidly for an entire decade before Wikipedia recognized them as idle games on their website. I don't think we'll see cozy games be cemented as such in 2030. Things move faster now, but they still need time. If you're part of the cozy gaming community, which, let's face it, why would you stick around this far into the video if you aren't? Know you're part of the moving force that's shaping a new genre of games. So, keep making cozy games, keep playing them, and I'll keep talking about them. I'll just send you off with a song from my personal favorite cozy game, Sayonara Wild Heart, which is actually a racing rhythm game. But who cares? It gives me comfort, people.